It's very exciting.
This little triangle where the fence bends, this is the North Point. Good morning. This road behind me is the E6, European Highway 6. It goes from here and it turns here and goes off that way. This road over here goes to Nordkapp, the top of Norway, the top of Europe, and the highest latitude of this road trip. It's about 129 kilometers there, so let's go. Little roadside break with my old friends, the layered weird rocks, the weird beasts of northern Norway, to describe what's been happening so far. So I've been on the road for about half an hour. The whole drive here is along the coast, along this fjord so far. So back in the car and back up to Nordkapp. It's not even 9 a.m. yet. Not much traffic at all. Nordkapp is actually on an island, and to drive there you go through the long Nordkapp tunnel, far below the icy waters. Okay, this is it, the beginning of Nordkapp tunnel. Almost 7 kilometers, 212 meters under sea level. I'm still on the European mainland. This tunnel goes under the water to the island of Mecca, however you say that, where actually Nordkapp is at the end of the island. Big moment, here we go, 7 more kilometers in the dark undersea world of the tunnel. There's a sign back there that said fog in tunnel, so more excitement. As advertised, it's foggy. I think we're coming up on halfway through. A lot of these undersea tunnels in Norway go down and then they go back up. I don't know why that is, but when you're down here on the very bottom, it's best not to think too hard about where exactly you are in relation to the earth. You can get kind of freaked out. And of course there's an air of anticipation as we're getting closer to Nordkapp. No reindeer in the tunnel, but just got out of the tunnel and there they are. I'm not sure, but I imagine that most people who go to Nordkapp do so by cruise ship, by the Hurtigruten, which goes up and down the coast of Norway. I would say probably relatively few people actually drive there. There's about 25 kilometers to go, and the landscape has gotten much more rocky and mountainous and dramatic. The road is very, very windy. I keep having to go very slow around these tight curves, and looks out over these rocky valleys, no trees. It's very exciting. Also making this drive particularly dramatic as we get our first views of the Arctic Ocean over there. are no guardrails on this road. So you're constantly turning your head, looking at all the scenery, and trying to maintain a speed limit, and trying to negotiate the curves. And you realize, oh, no guardrail. It's great. All right, this is something of a crossroads. The road to Nordkapp continues on there. That's where we'll be going. But if you look on this map here, so Nordkapp is here. We're about here, I think. There's a trail that goes off sort of through the gravelly wilderness to Knivsjellodden. And that's the actual north point. 71 degrees, 10 minutes, 21 seconds is Nordkapp, and then 71 degrees, 11 minutes, 8 seconds is Knivsjellodden, which of course is the north point of Mageria Island. The actual north point of mainland Europe is over here somewhere. What you have to do to get to the actual north point is climb over all of these rocks for 9 kilometers one way. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep driving. I've seen people online complaining about the entrance to Nordkapp, saying that the tourist facility staff argue and don't want to admit that admission to the cape itself is actually free. They pester you to buy overpriced access to the building. I was curious to see if it was true. Hello.
Hello, welcome to Nordkapp.
Thank you.
Alright, so the tickets to go inside the building is 310 krona per person. So for two it will be 620. It includes everything inside, so the gift shop, the museum, cinema, coffee house, all we have it. Parking in the outside area are free if you want to stay out, but if you want to go inside to buy something or to visit, you will need a ticket.
Okay. I think we'll go inside.
There you go.
All
Have
right.
a nice day.
Thank you very much. You too. That wasn't so bad. He clearly explained that I didn't have to pay if I didn't want to go inside. So, what's the problem? And I do want to go inside. I didn't come to Norway to save money. Here we go. The tourist building is nice, and downstairs features unique and genuinely fascinating displays about Nordkapp history. Just think, somebody's job was to come here and paint little white bird poo on all these rocks. And they took their job seriously, and I think they kind of went a little crazy. There's bird poo where there isn't even birds. In 1553, the first ship to see North Cape was a British ship. It was pretty rough. They calculated the position, and he called it North Cape. And that's why it's called North Cape. This guy here was an Italian priest who visited Nordkapp in 1664. And he's considered the first tourist to Nordkapp. And then here are the Thai king and some of his helpers. And here was somebody who ended up being the king of France. Here's the big famous one, King Oscar II of what was Norway and Sweden, a union at that time. Climbing up from the sea. That's pretty hardcore for a king. I'm impressed. Before the highway was built in the 1950s to get here by car, people had to go by boat to this place and then walk up this zigzag path, way up this steep cliff face to the plateau where we are now. And you can tell it's a zigzag road because it's called Zigzagveien. And when the boats bringing tourists to climb up that hill arrived, the staff of the boat had to run out real quick before the tourists run up the hill with this stuff, the champagne, because it was like a tradition to drink champagne when you got here. So then in 1891, they opened the Champagne Pavilion. I guess the precursor to today's building I'm in right now. The wild and mystical cave of lights. I don't know what this is. I think it's just like a light show. The only thing bigger than the movie theater is the gift shop. After a glance at the tacky stuff, it was finally time for the big moment outside. North Cape itself, with its famous globe monument, the end of Europe. There are people here, other people here. Who told them to come on my photo op YouTube day? I think we came in a great season. It's cold and windy, but it's not full of people. I think maybe the cruise ships show up later in the day. I'm not sure about that, but not that many people here. Here it is, right here. This little triangle where the fence bends. This is the north point on this plateau. And right up there is the North Pole, way out there somewhere. And here's the big thingy sphere thingy. After all the miles driven from Narvik, Nordkapp, I made it, Nordkapp. Boy, it's cold and windy. I don't know what the president or prime minister or king or queen of your country's been up to lately, but probably not climbing cliffs like this in conditions like these. When I'm using a lapel mic, it's here, kind of under my shirt, and it's got a wind screen on it, but I wonder if even that is not withstanding the wind here. I wonder what this audio sounds like. I hope it sounds okay to you. And then a waffle and coffee at the Roundabout Bar. Check out the view. The speakers were playing The End by The Doors, appropriate music for the end of the world. This is the Children of the Earth monument, made in 1988 by 7 children from all different countries around the world who came here, stayed here for a week, and then designed these kind of 7 circles in a spirit of love and peace and hope and joy and that kind of stuff. Here on the west edge of the visitor center, this monument here is where King Oscar II of Norway, Sweden, himself on July 2nd, 1873, came and unveiled this monument as the North Point of Norway. Imagine that, standing here one day in 1873, the king was here unveiling this monument in this place. This may have been where the king and his people climbed up from the sea down there. Climbed up here, made this monument, and then he went inside and had waffles. He was a wise king. You know, a wise man once said, "The blue bus is calling us." And I think he was right. Okay, I've been up at Nordkapp now about 3 hours maybe. So that's it for Nordkapp. But now, time for the road back down. This has only really been half of it. What wonders will the road down show us? They're always different when you go an opposite way than you went before. So, looking forward to seeing the beauty of Highway E69. Heading back down south, there was time to visit some of the tiny villages I'd bypassed this morning. Just a quick side trip for about 1 minute to see the Hönigsvåg airport. I was kind of hoping to see like an airplane take off or land or something, but it doesn't look like that happens very often here. There's the runway. I don't know when the next plane is due, but don't think I want to hang around. It could be quite a wait. I've been annoyed at the orange snow poles along the roads because they get in the way of my video footage. Turns out I'm not the only one who finds them intrusive. 10% grade, pretty steep. But you know who's not worried about steep grades? The reindeer. The low September sun this far north turns the landscape into an explosion of vivid colors and ghostly shadows. I thought it was the perfect ending to a perfectly Scandinavian day, but there was one more bonus after dark. Norway truly saved the best for last. After dinner, my Aurora app suggested that tonight might be a good chance to see the Northern Lights, so I quickly drove to a nearby dark and frigid churchyard and took out my camera. And it happened. Among endless stars and streaking meteors, the world's very best light show. Thanks for watching. See you next time.